Hey viewers, you're now tuned in to mDhil's Dermacare series with senior dermatologist Dr. Pakhi Pereira. Now in the past, we've talked about aging and what exactly skin is, and today we're going to tackle the sun. So doctor, how exactly can sun exposure damage skin?
When we speak of sun damage, we're actually looking at damage to our skin because of exposure to UV radiation, and that means UVA and UVB radiation both. Now, these rays can penetrate our skin and cause various kinds of damage. We're looking at damage to the epidermis. When it senses damage, the epidermis makes a lot of color. That's your tanning. But deeper damage, which is when UVA rays penetrate into our dermis, can actually lead to the formation of reactive oxygen species. These are molecules that interact with our cells and they make the skin age faster. In those who are prone to it, especially people with jobs in the sun, people who are fairer, there is a chance of developing skin cancer in the long run.
So what's the best way to guard yourself from the harmful effects of UV rays?
Well, the best way is to block them really, and we're talking about sunscreens here. So sunscreens, the best ones to use, of course, would be something that protects against both UVA and UVB radiations. Look at your SPF levels. There should be an SPF value in a sunscreen, and look for something that gives a UVA protection also. That comes in the form of either stars, which are called the boost star rating, or you're looking at plus signs over there. So the higher the plus signs, it's easier for you to choose your sunscreen. The important factor here is how often do you actually use a sunscreen. Use it at least 20 to 30 minutes before you leave home and reapply, because most sunscreens will last you 4 to 5 hours only. If you're outdoors, every 3-hour application will actually prevent damage better than later. People into sports need to use higher SPFs or at least sunscreens which contain higher amounts of zinc oxide and titanium dioxide. These molecules are physical sunscreens. They protect better if you're out in the sun more often than others. We're also looking at the use of simple protections. For example, in water, you need water resistant sunscreens. In sweat-proof sunscreens in case of sports people. Simple practical tips like using an umbrella when you're out in the sun, standing in the shade of a tree if you're waiting for a bus, using long sleeve clothing or hooded clothes that prevent damage from the sun are of course very important when you're preventing damage.
So doctor, don't sunscreens hamper the absorption of vitamin D, which is essential for people? Should we apply sunscreen to kids playing outside all day?
Shilpa, the production of vitamin D in our skin requires exposure to UV light. And since sunscreens do not prevent all this UV light from entering our skin, we do make vitamin D even with sunscreens on. As far as children playing outdoors, well, they are exposed to UV light a lot more than we are, so they need sunscreen. But parents are worried about the chemicals in sunscreen. So we're looking at using physical sunscreens for them rather than the chemical ones, which basically means they should look for sunscreens that have large amounts of zinc oxide and titanium dioxide in their sunscreens, and their skin should be perfectly safe.
So that's it for today's episode on sun exposure, but stay tuned by subscribing to our channel and looking for us when we discuss specific skin diseases in the upcoming episodes. I'll see you guys later.